Oh, this is blown over. It's quite cold this morning, and we just had a storm come through. Hopefully the wind is not gonna pick up anymore and it's not gonna rain. Very excited for today. My tires came in, so I'm heading out to change them. Been waiting for a while. Unfortunately, the bits that I need to modify the front fender haven't arrived yet. But for now, I'm just gonna put the tires on. So here we are. Bike is on the ramp. We have the tires. These are the Maxxis M6024, and we're going to start at the rear. We're going to take the rear wheel off. We are going to start by unloosing these nuts and this big nut, and then taking the rear spindle out, obviously unloosing these nuts as well, taking the chain off, taking the wheel off, and we'll take the tire off after that. Okay, these are the tools that you're gonna need. You need a 10mm spanner, a 12mm spanner, ratchet wrench, and a 19 socket. You're gonna need a jack to lift up the bike so the rear wheel will be in the air. Up there. I just want to take a moment to ask you, the viewer, to please subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. So now that the wheel is out, we're going to take the pressure out the tire. I'm going to take the tire off the rim now. I'm going to break the bead with this machine, and then we're going to put the tire in the tire machine. We're going to take the tire off the rim and put the new tire on. So now that we have the tire off, when we put our new tire on, we're going to have to make sure that the tire is going to spin the right way, and we're going to put some sealant on this bead so it's going to have a proper airtight seal. Well, he didn't even say what bike it was. Another thing that you have to do when you're fitting a new tire is make sure that this dot is aligned with the tire valve. because the opposite side is the heaviest side. So this dot needs to be aligned with this because it's like a counterweight. And inflate the tire, this tire specifically, to 2 bar, which is around 30 psi. Yeah. So we're gonna put a little bit of grease on the spacers. Gonna make sure that the water doesn't seep into the wheel bearing. Just gonna make sure that the life of the bearing is gonna be a bit longer. So I'm gonna put some grease on this spindle as well. It's just easier to put in, and it's not gonna rust as quick. So we're gonna use these screws to adjust the chain. It's quite loose now, and you can see the adjustment here. There are a few lines, and just make sure that what's here is on the other side, so you adjust both sides the same way. Another thing that you're going to need, a torque wrench, so we can tighten this rear spindle nut to 59 Newton meters. Then we're gonna tighten these nuts, both sides, and we're done with the rear. The rear wheel and tire is on. Now we head to the front. So the tools that we're gonna need to take the front wheel off are a 14mm spanner, a 19 and a 12mm socket, and a ratchet. The 14mm spanner and the 19mm socket, it is for the wheel spindle, and the 12mm socket is to take off the front brake caliper, these two bolts. Just gonna edit that out. We have the wheel out. I'm not going to show you the process of changing the tire because it's exactly the same as the rear. Front tire has been fitted. It's been inflated to the same pressures as the rear. That's 2 bar, just around 30 psi. And the axle nut is going to be tightened to 54 Newton meters. Front wheel is in. There is not that much space between the front mudguard and the tire, but I do plan to raise up this mudguard a bit to have a little bit more space if we go off-road and we encounter muddy trails. This tire wouldn't jam on the fender. I do have another fender that I plan to cut, but I'm gonna leave that for another video. This is how it looks like with the tires on. Looks quite good. I'm gonna take it for a test ride. Sam's giving me a ride because it's raining really badly. Look what we have on the dash. What is this, Sam? A KTM headlight. Are we gonna do some videos with that KTM? Yes. If you guys enjoy my video, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, I do appreciate you watching my videos. See you on the next one.